Like any other sport, bodybuilding is subject to fashion trends. Basement gyms are being replaced with modern fitness centers that are visited by people of different ages and degrees of physical training. Their goal is to have an athletic physique instead of becoming a muscle mountain with veins sticking out, so they would look good in office attire and won't be ashamed of undressing while walking on a beach. That's why in 2012 the International Federation of Bodybuilding and Fitness introduced a new discipline in bodybuilding, men's physique. In it, men must have good-looking proportions. A broad back, a narrow waist and the size of abs are particularly important. In 2017, the hero of this episode, Volodymyr Osnik, became the first Ukrainian to receive the title of Mr. Universe in the men's physique category. Stay tuned to this program in order to find out more about the distinguishing features of this sport, main achievements and aspirations, sports nutrition, and much more. Volodymyr Osnik tried several types of sports before trying bodybuilding, namely hand-to-hand combat, judo and boxing. He decided to start going to the gym at the age of 14. I like it for the atmosphere, the coach was great. There was a good variety of equipment, a nice contingent of athletes, and there were motivating posters of Arnold Schwarzenegger that all of our teenagers had. That was exactly what gave me the inspiration and strong desire to engage in bodybuilding and fitness. After school, Volodymyr entered the National University of Physical Education and Sport of Ukraine in Kiev, where he took interest in powerlifting and represented the national team of Ukraine. After graduating from the university, he returned to bodybuilding for a while and even won a bronze medal at the Ukrainian Cup. Then he returned to power sports. He participated in competitions as an athlete and trained others. He trained several European bench press champions and a World Championship silver medalist. He was also engaged in equipping fitness clubs and studio. In 2016, he became particularly interested in a new fitness machine. It was a multi-purpose weight machine that was perfect for bodybuilding and fitness. We had an idea to start preparing for bodybuilding championships using only this equipment. It was a perfect idea exactly when the men's physique nomination appeared. Nobody else in the world had even tried to do this before I did it, so we were basically the first to introduce this novel concept. The equipment fully justified the expectations of Volodymyr Osnik. He was well prepared, and in 2016 he won the Ukrainian championship in the men's physique category and took second place at the European Championships in Kiev. In a year, he represented Ukraine in Budapest at the Mr. Universe tournament. This is the main competition organized and conducted in Europe by the World Amateur Bodybuilding Association. It attracts more than 300 participants from different countries of the world. There were about 20 athletes on stage per category. We could barely fit in there, and I won. Moreover, as it turned out, the current champion of 2016 was on stage with me, and he took second place. It was such a triumph. These emotions are impossible to describe. You can only experience them yourself. Our whole national team was very successful. Our team performed really well and earned many gold medals. Our classical bodybuilders did really well, and we also took first place among all the teams that competed. This is the IBB Pro League Mr. Olympia. It's one of the most well-known competitions on our planet in the bodybuilding and fitness series. The European Championship. By the way, I'm still the current European champion so far. This is my first victory in the men's physique category in Ukraine. Here's the Anniversary Cup of Ukraine, the National Federation, 2 champion medals, and the title of champion of Ukraine in 2 federations at the same time. Favorite movie: Burnt and Adam Jones. Favorite books: I'm a big fan of scientific literature. I listen to music, EDM, sometimes heavy metal. The admission of athletes in the men's physique category is based on the following formula. 100 is subtracted from the athlete's height. The resulting number is the maximum weight that athletes are allowed to have on stage. Keeping such a balance is fairly difficult. Volodymyr recalls when he was once let down not by excess weight but by insufficient height. That happened on the eve of the Mr. Universe 2017 competition. We arrived in Budapest. I got weighed in that morning. It showed 87 kilograms, and my height was 1 meter 87 centimeters. So it was fine at that point, because I also ate a lot. Then they measured my height and weight in the evening, and my height turned out 186 meters. I couldn't breathe for a moment. I knew it was bad news if I had been 187 meters in the morning and had also eaten. But wait a second, they told me to relax because some water had been released from my body by the evening. They said they believed my height was 187 meters in the morning and told me to get on the scales. Apparently, the specificity of our preparation is that we enter a special state of dehydration so that all the excess water leaves our bodies, even that under the skin. So I stepped on the scales, and they showed 85.5 kilos. I lost 1.5 kilograms of water. I exhaled in relief. They told me that there was no need to worry, that everything was fine, and that I made it into the category. They gave me my number and said they would wait for me on stage. In the men's physique category, athletes perform in beach shorts, so it is also known as beach bodybuilding. The proportions of athletes, their general muscle development, muscle definition, and its degree are estimated. All that is visible on stage when athletes are lined up. Then the judges ask 3 to 6 of the athletes who have a chance to win to step forward. First, the judges tell them to show their front, then they turn sideways, then they turn their backs, then they turn to the other side, and then to the front again. The judges compare the athlete's appearance in each pose by the same criteria: general muscle mass, definition, sufficient dryness, and presentation, meaning how they pose and how they keep that pose. You have to strain your every muscle from the heels to the neck, and you stand there like a tense spring, not breathing, until they tell you to change the pose. You change the pose and stand like that again with very tense muscles. There's also something you have to learn separately and thoroughly study the art of posing. The price of such winning performances for athletes is years of daily training and a special balanced diet. Volodymyr Osnik often shares his experience in masterclasses. He talks about the specificities of preparation for competitions, about leading a healthy and active way of life, and holds special workshops on this theme. He says that bodybuilding is a sport of sensations. What you're feeling when exercising is working. This kind of mental concentration is very important in this sport. Back in the day, Arnold used to tell how he imagined how his giant biceps occupied almost the entire area of the gym when he was working on them. We're going to examine the shoulder deltoid muscle. It consists of 3 bundles, and it's very important to exercise all 3 at the same time. The anterior, middle, and posterior deltoid muscle. To create the beautiful spherical shape that you can see on the pictures, we must work on all 3 parts. I'm going to show a number of exercises that you can perform with this machine, the so-called crossover and P complex. We're going to begin with the middle muscle, which works when we move our arms to the side. Move them to the level of your ear. Pause and then bring them back to the initial position. Make sure that your shoulders, elbows, and wrists are all at the same level. Hold the riser in front of yourself. Lift it up to your eye level, and then lower to the starting position. This is how we isolate the anterior deltoid muscle. It is located right here in the front part of the body. Pause and back to the starting position. It is a basic multi-joint press-up exercise for the deltoid muscle that engages all 3 bundles. You can do it with a barbell, while in a sitting or standing position, or with dumbbells. Dream in sports, title of Mr. Olympia. Dream in life, position of the Minister of Youth and Sports of Ukraine. Love, the union of 2 souls. Happiness, a combination of many factors, including those related to love. The name of Volodymyr's significant other is Nadia. She was a synchronized swimmer and a multiple winner and medalist of championships of Ukraine. Now she's a fitness trainer and a practicing psychologist. She has become accustomed to the fact that her man constantly attracts women's stares. I'm always with my girl on the beach. How can other girls approach me? We're together on vacation and on the beach. She doesn't. What's the point? It all depends on trust and the approach of the man.
и от подхода мужчины.
If you don't give her reasons to be jealous, then she won't be. She admires me and is proud of me. Volodymyr also started introducing his daughter Miroslava to sports from an early age. She has tried many kinds of sports and stopped on rhythmic gymnastics for now.
Дочке 8 лет.
My daughter is 8 years old and she engages in rhythmic gymnastics. She chose this sport herself after trying many other forms of sport. She goes to the Serebransky studio. We also plan to have her do some swimming later, so she could combine that, though not all sports combine well. This will help her develop the body at such a young age. Currently, for her, it's rhythmic gymnastics. Sports nutrition is another occupation of our hero. He says that keeping to the right diet is 50% of success in bodybuilding. An athlete needs to drink 40 milliliters of water per kilogram of body weight and eat 5 to 6 times a day. I usually have cottage cheese with 5% fat content for breakfast, enriched with nuts and prunes or apples, and I might also eat some rice bread.
Ну и могу дополнить рисовыми хлебцами. Добавить чуть-чуть, правильно, для меня углеводов. После...
After that, I drink a protein shake.
Белковый коктейль.
Protein shakes are easy to prepare.
Шейкер.
All you need is a shaker, clean water, and whey protein.
Процесс запущен. Коктейль готов.
Then this healthy cocktail is ready to be consumed wherever you are. Great!
После коктейля у меня
After the shake, I have lunch,
каша гречневая на гарнир,
which is usually buckwheat porridge as garnish,
куриное филе запеченное без грудки,
baked chicken fillet without skin,
без шкурки,
and asparagus or broccoli.
на полдник
At noon, I have a salad of Napa cabbage, celery, olive oil, sesame seeds, and some boiled eggs.
плюс отварные цельные яйца,
I might also eat some unleavened bread.
хлебец бездрожжевой. И на ужин у меня
My dinner is always carbohydrate-free,
с легкой формой белка,
with some light protein content, which is quite often baked fish or fish fillets with steamed asparagus or broccoli with sesame
или
seeds.
брокколи, приготовленное на пару с добавлением кунжутных семечек.
All of our heroes' interests are associated with fitness in one way or another. That's studying, travel, and project creation for fitness clubs and studios. Volodymyr Osnik is also a judge of the national category, but he is always ready to spend some time with his athlete friends. For example, they go riding in some carts in the Race of Champions. Our hero plans to take part in the World Bodybuilding Championship, which is going to take place in Lviv for the first time in 2019. But his most cherished dream is to win the Mr. Olympia competition in Portugal. In 2018, Volodymyr Osnik participated in this tournament in San Marino and took third place.
2018 года
Since 2018, the IBB Pro League started holding tournaments on the European continent, the so-called qualifications round.
называемый. То есть это любители
Amateurs can win this championship, be conferred a pro card,
и
and become part of the professional division that will be admitted to tournaments in Las Vegas. Mr. Olympia in the US has considerably high prize pools, sometimes as high as several $1 million.
ну, и попасть, то есть, более
So Mr. Olympia in Las Vegas is the limit.
топовых в мире нет. То есть мистер Олимпия в США, в Лас-Вегасе это предел.
The cult of a beautiful athletic body hasn't lost its relevance since the days of ancient Greece. After all, those men who have such bodies undoubtedly are in very good health, and being healthy and attractive will always be in trend. That's what the hero of this episode, Volodymyr Osnik, firmly believes in. And it's hard to object that.